Everyone loves happy hour, and no one makes an hour happier than actress, comedian, author, host, and self-proclaimed hat girl, Dee Dee Sorvino, who each show serves up an hour of good times and great conversation. Food, culture, fashion, current events, history, or just good gossip. Grab a cocktail and take a seat as Dee Dee shares stories, talks with friends, and makes you wish you could keep the bar tab open all night. Where there's a party, there's Dee Dee, and you are invited. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Drinks with Dee Dee. Here's your host, Dee Dee Sorvino.
Hello, friends and ghouls and witches and mummies. We're so excited because it's October 1st, and it's not just Halloween. We're not going to celebrate just Halloween night. It's Halloween month. We've got all kinds of movies and parties and things to do. So we wanted to get started on the 1st. And I have to tell you, I've got a very, very special show. But you know, we always start out with the drink. And of course, our book, Pino, Pasta, and Parties, food by this guy, the legendary movie star, Paul Sorvino. Yay! And then, of course, I'm in charge of the drink. The Italian, the food, the Scott-Irish girl does the drinks, you know, so we have a perfect relationship and a perfect life. But this drink is magical and dangerous, by the way. It's called the Green Witch. Right, honey? And you've had it.
Oh, yes.
It's not your typical Chianti, of course. It's not just a red wine. It's not a digestivo. It is a drink that was outlawed until what? I think at the 80s. With absinthe. Absinthe is an alcohol that it has a crazy history and a dangerous one. I mean, they thought it was like killing people off. Now, truth be told, any alcohol, if you drink it by the gallon, every hour will kill you off or put you in jail. It will not end well. But absinthe got kind of like, I think, a bad rap, but it is very strong, no doubt about it. But our drink in the book is called the Green Witch. And it is green. It's a beautiful color here. Cheers, honey. Let's take a toast and then I'll tell everyone what's in the drink. But it is strong.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers. I like it.
Yeah. You can handle it better than I can.
It's the Italian thing, Scott-Irish. Again, it's a perfect marriage because my husband is perfect with the food and I do the drinks. And I like them strong. Look, I was born in Eastern Kentucky. I like moonshine. I can do half a bottle of moonshine, no problem. Not a vat quite, but almost.
I tried to do it. I think I was going to call 911.
Well, look, I mean, you know, it's in the genes, but it's Halloween, so you've got to go crazy. Remember, we did an event at the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And I was serving these drinks, and I had like the green punch for the kids. And then we had the regular drink for the adults, and the people in charge is like, oh my gosh, that witch's brew. It was a green witch, but by the time they had a couple, it was like witch's brew. Don't give me any more. I can't handle it. I'm done. I'm crazy. They really thought they were having the hallucinations because that is what certain folks think absence will do, that it gives you hallucinations, that it can cause you to do evil, wicked things. That's
what I like about it.
I know. And I personally think it's the best sales job in the world for absinthe. The first time I had absinthe was the Absinthe House in New Orleans, and I loved it. I'm like, this is great. It kind of tastes like black licorice. But our drink is special. It is, I'm telling you, it is a concoction like no other. So I want to read the ingredients to you to get it exactly right. I know what they are, but I want to get the measurements right, because if you just happen to have these ingredients, I mean, most people, they don't have absinthe in their house, but they should, and certainly should for Halloween. So anyway, the Green Witch, and of course our book, every chapter has a full menu, food, dessert, whatever, starters, but we always start with a special cocktail. And this one is strong as can be. Maybe our strong, well, I don't know, the Goodfellow drink is probably the strongest.
Well, the Goodfellas drink, you definitely have to have a medical person in attendance.
And this as well, or maybe like a funeral home director, I don't know. But you start with 2 ounces of gin, pretty good. And then an ounce of absinthe, but I do 2 ounces because I'm sort of a witch. So, I want a lot of absinthe. An ounce of Midori, which gives it a beautiful green color. half an ounce of the green chartreuse, which isn't quite as bright of a green, but it makes it all work very beautifully. Half an ounce of lime juice and mint leaves, which we don't have. But the mint leaves and the dry ice, we don't have the dry ice today. But if you have the dry ice, it's like double, toil and trouble. And it really is a witch's brew. So if you want to have a great holiday party, a great Halloween party every day in October, this is your drink, the Green Witch. All right, honey. Well, you know what? I think it's a toast. I think it's time for a toast to our special guest we're so excited about. It is, believe it or not, one of our favorite show hosts. That we watch, the show that we watch every Saturday night, Svengoolie, Rich Koz. Woo! All right, let's have a toast.
I don't like toast. The black stuff gets caught in my teeth.
Honey, I know we've been looking forward to this. Like, we couldn't even sleep last night. So why don't you start with the interview with your Italian? Now, I always say paisan. He goes, that's not bad. That's not how you say it, right?
Paisan, that's what
Oh,
you
I
say.
got it right. I usually get it wrong.
Where are
All
your
right.
people from?
My people are from Calabria on my mom's side of the family. So they always said the Calabrese were hardheads, and so maybe that applies to me too.
Testa di cemente.
So, Rich, Paul and I, we love horror movies. We love, the shows that you have on. And it's just, we just always look forward to it. And I was so thrilled whenever I thought, have you ever seen the stuff, the movie that Paul was in? And then you said, are you kidding me? This was a movie that I did the first year of my show. And believe it or not, I've never seen this stuff. I can't find it. No. I don't know. So you all can talk about it because I'm dying to see it.
Well, yeah, actually, when I first came to the company that I'm with now, which is the company that later spun off MeTV that I'm on right now, in the very first, I think, 6 months, one of the movies we had was The Stuff. And I absolutely loved it. One of the things I love about it is, how special effects are done CG these days and by computers. That was all physical type effects. And I'm a very, very big fan of those type of effects. And what a great story, too. It was so much fun. Here's this stuff that these guys discover. And, of course, the first thing they do is try eating it. It's like, okay, sure. But they end up marketing it. It ends up being, almost alive and taking over their systems. And it's I think there's a lot of parallels you could probably draw to a lot of other things that happen in real life. And it was just a tremendous movie, a lot of fun to watch, and and a good scare for a lot of people.
Gromit Spears.
That was your character, right, honey? You were a general.
They wanted a name. I said Gromit Spears.
So let me get this straight. You played a general, and
I played the general, right?
And you were combating the Stuff.
Along with Andrea Marcovici, who was actually a singer, but he put her in the movie. I don't know if she'd ever acted before. She was good. Oh. And she was a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, and it was great because you were trying to, alert people to the fact that they shouldn't be eating the stuff.
Well, see, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, well, that sort of looks like The Blob. Like when The Blob, as you're rolling through the streets or whatever. But then it's like, wait a minute, this is like people are trying to eat it. And I thought, well, maybe it's like Soylent Green. I'm so confused. What's going on in this movie? But it sounds like a perfect movie, Rich, for you to have on Svengoolie. But it's a little confusing, but it sounds great for, a cult following because people will say, oh, I love this stuff. They never say why. but they're just like, oh, I just love it. Does it make people into monsters?
There's a lot of different reasons why people like it. I think there are some similarities to The Blob because that arrived in a meteor and was broken open, and people messed with it when they shouldn't have. And I think that's the basis of all this stuff. People messing with things they shouldn't.
Yeah, and especially like if it's nuclear or, all these things that are not natural to us. And if you try to chase it, eat it, marry it, whatever you're trying to do, it's no good. And that is a good elixir for, of course, a horror movie. But something, Rich, that Paul and I love, and I'm sure, you're the expert on all these types of movies, but Paul and I love the old ones. We love the first Mummy. We love the first Dracula. We love the first Frankenstein. So I was asking Paul on the way here, honey, because we love these movies, what is your favorite? What is your favorite?
Svengoolie. 3,000 years I've waited for this. Since I was High Priest Imhotep, you were Queen of the Vestal Virgins. Hunks-an-Amun. One moment of agony. Nibbit.
That's
one moment
one
of agony.
Too. Quite honestly, there are a lot of people who, when they first see it, really are like, they expect, to have the mummy shambling around all wrapped up right from the beginning because they're used to some of the later movies. But I think that the original Mummy with Karloff there is so much more effective. And the fact that, here he is, that sort of grizzled looking older Egyptian fellow. And then when he tells the backstory and you look into that pool and you see how he ended up, becoming a mummy, I thought that was such an amazing thing. And the visuals in that movie are absolutely tremendous. A lot of people draw parallels between that and the original Dracula movie and say there are a lot of similarities between the two stories. And I guess to some extent there are. But the Mummy, I think they pretty much made up on their own, where a lot of the other stuff came from literature. They came up with the Mummy story at Universal on their own. So it was actually an original.
We were prepared for this.
You're scaring me.
Well, and those they're just so compelling, and they don't have the special effects that these days, they'll spend $50 million on just the special effects. But every minute is compelling, and the black and white and the lighting, and it's just really amazing, what they did back then. And that is a smart story with the Mummy. Now, I love Dracula. Paul likes the Mummy a little better, and I like Dracula a little better. And every time I see Bela Lugosi come out of the crypt or come out of the coffin, and in that area, where it's just so gruesome, and they've got those terrible animals coming out, I get scared every year when we watch that.
I never understood when they're showing all this stuff crawling around in the mansion there when Renfield first arrives, and there's armadillos. And I'm thinking, are those common in Transylvania? I thought that was in South America or something.
Well, with Dracula, you never know it. They crawled into the coffin in the old ship and came on over. But it's just all those nasty animals, and it was just so creepy and so effective as well. And when they're going into, when Renfield goes and he's normally goes, no, I've got to go, I've got this appointment. And then the locals, the Roma, they're begging him, don't go, you're going to die. And of course, he ended up in bad shape for sure. Honey, do your Renfield.
You are very wise. For one who has not even lived one lifetime, do you have something to drink?
But what about Renfield?
Do you have something to drink?
The Green Witch. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so out of it. Okay, let's start over. Let's start over.
Let's do it again.
Let's start over. Okay.
Do you have something to drink?
Vine?
I never drink wine.
That is a great line of Bela Lugosi when he goes, I never drink wine. And then Renfield goes crazy. And then it's so creepy, and it's my gosh, it's just. And then Van Helsing, and then you've got all these other movies. It's amazing how many movies were born out of the old ones, like the Mummy. Look, you've got the Mummy with Brendan Fraser, and those are good, but they're not. They're good, but they're nothing like the original. They're not scary. They're just kind of almost Disney adventure.
It's a whole different feel to it. And I think you hit upon something very important with the black and white and the lighting. I think those original movies create such an atmosphere just from the way they were shot and the way they were lit. And to me, that's one of the things that really kind of draws you in and, gets the feel of the story across. And it's funny because I actually, talked to people, why don't you show more color movies? And it's you're missing the point.
No, the black and whites are so much better. I mean, for us, we're always disappointed when the horror movies are in color because you want the horror movies to be darker, and you want that to be the ambiance, and you want that to be the feeling, and and even the music that they use was really, really effective. They did a great job. And, so you didn't have all the special effects, which took away. It just takes away.
My pool is sometimes troubled.
The man with
it's
the
like
lines.
You have to call
you name
a TV
a movie.
repairman to fix it or something.
You name a movie, my husband can give you the lines, Rich. I'm telling you, you could have him just sit there. It's like, what's my line? I mean, it could be like, okay, Paul, what's the line? In every movie, he knows what the line is. It's amazing.
You could do your own game show.
There you go. You're the host. Paul will sit there in the chair.
My favorite 2 line readings is the one which I did, which was the one I just did.
In Sonoma, whatever.
No.
What's the name? Say it.
No. Listen to them, children of the night, what music they make. What, as opposed to the New York Philharmonic? What are you talking about? And then the other one I like is from Treasure of the Sierra Madre. And he says, I was on my way to Durango to get some money. And he says, we need money too.
That's not a horror movie, but it is a good line and a great movie with Humphrey Bogart.
We need money too.
Yeah.
Humphrey Bogart, I think would have been good in a horror movie. He would have been. Did he ever?
He was in one actually. He was in one. I think something about something Dr. X, where he was wearing glasses and he had like a sort of silver streak in his hair. And I don't remember if he was actually one of the people that Dr. X had put under his control or brought to life or whatever. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. And that's one I've never run, actually.
I've never seen that.
Oh, well, look, if there's a movie with Humphrey Bogart and nobody knows what it is exactly, well, I don't know. Rick, you got to play it.
It's a great movie. It's not a horror movie.
Well, but if he's in it, it's good. That's true. But going back to the Mummy, Rich, I just want your opinion. Did you like the Tom Cruise Mummy? Did you see it?
I never even saw that movie, quite honestly. And anything I heard about it, people just really were not into it. And they said, but it's different because the mummy's a woman. And, I think sometimes doing remakes is a big mistake, especially when something is so well established in your mind from when you've seen the original. Call it something else and make it something else different. You hate to think that people don't have enough imagination to come up with new things these days, but you see how many times they're doing remakes of stuff that, was perfect to begin with.
Well, yeah, like the Bates Motel. Hello. Why would you ever do that again?
Sure.
What was it?
Like trying to remake On the Waterfront.
No.
I wouldn't advise it.
No.
Yeah, because they did exactly the same movie. And but it's not the same movie. So why even try? At least I give the Tom Cruise Mummy, because I agree, Rich. It seems like everybody hated it. I liked it because, the girl as a mummy lives in our building. So we kind of, we see her around. So that was kind of cool. That's not the reason, but I did appreciate the fact that they were trying to be creative and they were trying to make it. I thought it was good. And she was scary and creepy, and
I didn't
it worked.
see that.
Well, you saw part of it and then you fell asleep. So you probably didn't like it. Remember Tom Cruise and the mummy was trying to get him? And
I didn't
all
like
that?
it.
Yeah. See, Paul didn't like it. Nobody liked it.
I like Tom Cruise, but I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I thought it was good. But you're right. Remakes are tough, but we always go back to the originals being the best. And then you've got Frankenstein. So, Rich, do you think Boris Karloff, here's a question we wanted to ask you. Do you think he was better in Frankenstein or in The Mummy?
I think he had more of a chance to act as the mummy. And I would say once he got to Bride of Frankenstein, he was able to bring more levels to the character of the monster. And he was able to, show more different emotions.
And wasn't like some sort of rivalry with Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and Payment? Wasn't there some sort of like a bit of a feud or something with them? It seems like there were some.
There's a lot of stories about that, and I don't know that they're necessarily true. I know in the Ed Wood movie with Martin Landau, they had, him as Bela just complaining constantly about Karloff. But actually, I think, they did get along pretty well. And I don't know how much of that really is, true or not, some of the stories that have gone around. But, you've got to find somebody who was there. And at this point, that's getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of sad that all these people that did these old movies, they're just not around anymore. It's kind of weird because, you see them, every Halloween season. And it's like, that's kind of sad. But boy, are we glad that they did what they did, because they just endure. And every year they never get old. And they're so simple. They're so simple, but it just never gets old.
Yeah,
so Richard,
I think that's it.
What are your audience favorites? I mean, it's funny because I remember twice watching you on the show and you kept talking about Don Knotts and the chicken movie. It's like silly things that you think people wouldn't like, but they love it.
Yeah, the Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts is a big favorite people ask for all the time. And so is Munster Go Home. For some reason, people just really want to see that. And I don't know if it's because they've been conditioned by seeing the old reruns of the TV show over and over again or what. But that's another one that anytime we run either one of those two, we get a huge audience. And people just, and it's two sides of the coin. There's the one group that's just absolutely frantic to see it. And the other people are like, oh, no, not this again. So it's very tough. And it's funny because people really react to things. And it's funny because people go, oh, you run the same things over and over again. And the same thing. I get things from people. I've never seen that movie before. So, it's always so tough trying to come up with things that, will satisfy both people. You can never make everybody happy. I've certainly learned that.
Rich, how do you do that? How do you do the programming? I mean, you get the reaction, but that's got to be a tough job for you.
Well, it is. We try to weigh, these comments, and it's not always majority rules because sometimes it's, how the internet and things like that are. They're very slanted. What we do is we get the different distributors like Universal and Sony Columbia and Warner Brothers, and they will offer us certain movies. They'll give us lists and we can ask for whatever we want from them. But a lot of times they're not available because other people have contracts for them, or, they only have a small window that they can't move it into of time for us to run. So we ask for a bunch of stuff. We get what we can, and we try to track what the audience likes and what they stay with. And I have to say, since the beginning of this year, even before the pandemic, our national ratings have just been amazingly high and tremendous. And, people have been saying, well, maybe it's because of the COVID, and it really isn't, because it started before that. And I'm very grateful that we've got so many people watching every week. And, I'm just hoping that what we're doing is going to keep them coming back.
What do you think the magic elixir is? I mean, what do you think? Why do you think you have such a following? Because you absolutely do. Because, I was thinking we had moved the show. We were going to do this at the end of the month. And I think I told you we wanted to move it up and ask you because we're going to do a big release. And so you're so kind, because this is, look, it's always your big season. But October, I'm sure that it's like 24/7. You're in high demand. People went crazy. They went nuts. They're like, oh my gosh, you're going to have Svengoolie. It's going to be Paul Sorvino, Svengoolie. I mean, who cares about me? But look, I bring that cocktail. So, I do have a role here. But they were all about Svengoolie and Paul Sorvino, and that was it. So, you have a huge following, and, congratulations on that. And look, I have to tell you that if you ever can get this stuff again, I told Paul, I said, look, if we got to come to Chicago and do a little bit with you, I mean, that would be great, right? You do for the stuff.
Definitely so.
That'd be fun, right, honey?
That would be great.
Yeah. So, I
would come on.
Yeah.
I would enjoy it.
That would be excellent. I think everybody would enjoy that.
The two Italians.
That's it.
You know why they call us Italian?
Why is that, Paul?
They're ignorant.
That you and Paul, the two Italians, can do that paisano thing, right?
I understand. Your mother is a big fan.
Yeah, my mom.
True?
She passed away last year, but she was a big fan of the show, and I think she was very proud of me. And she, especially with her church ladies, she'd go to see them and they'd always say, "Oh, I saw your son the other day." And she's like, "Oh, where? At the store or something?" Like, "No, on TV."
Rich, are you from the Chicago area? Where are you from originally? Are you
Yeah, actually, I was born here in Chicago, and I pretty much lived in this area my whole life. And pretty much most of my career has been here in Chicago in TV and radio. And now, for the past 11 or 12 years nationally on MeTV. So I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, you come after Wonder Woman. How about that one?
Well, now I come after the Three Stooges, which,
What? Oh, they changed it. We haven't watched it in a while.
Talk about hard heads.
That's a
I
change.
think we got that right there. Yeah.
That's
and
a
actually,
change.
it's funny because it's been a good lead-in for us. I think maybe because of the comedy aspect of it.
Well, another movie that you'll show here and there is like the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think that's a really good one too. Is that a popular one? Is that one people like?
It is, and it's also one of my favorites. It was one that they created themselves at Universal. It didn't come necessarily from any book, I don't think, and it was very different from a lot of the monsters that they had presented before. And it didn't hurt to have the lovely Julie Adams in her little white bathing suit in that movie too. I met her a few years ago. She's passed away now, but what a sweet lady. And she did so much acting. She was in everything. I mean, you watch the Andy Griffith Show and she shows up in that. She did a lot of movies. I think she's been on Perry Mason. It's always great to see all the different things. Just a real sweet lady. And certainly she appreciated all the fans who still loved her from that movie.
So, Rich, who's like the biggest character, like the funniest, like you're like, oh my gosh, they are crazy. I guess you probably met so many of these stars from these movies. I mean, what was like a couple people maybe that stand out in your mind that you remember meeting like, wow, that's really somebody?
Well, one of the people that I met was, and who's now a friend of mine, is an actor, Kevin J. O'Connor, who was in that Brendan Fraser Mummy movie, the first one. He was the kind of slimy guy, Benny, who was always, double crossing people. And he's another guy who came from Chicago, and he was a big fan of the show. And he was involved in that. He was also involved in Van Helsing. He played Igor in that. And real nice guy, real good actor.
They tried to kill Igor. They tried to hang him. But Igor, all right. Igor lived. Broken bone in the neck.
I die live.
Van Helsing. I like that movie. I mean, I like that movie too. I mean, it's just whenever, you've got like the vampire killers and I mean, people like that kind of thing. And Benny, there's always that guy. There's always like that creepy guy, he's like the Renfield, there's always, but everybody loves to watch them. I mean, those are great characters.
Yeah. It's always funny to see that there's always that one kind of side character that people actually look forward to the scenes that they're in. It's a testament to their acting, first of all, but also I think it kind of works sometimes like I think I do in that it's kind of comic relief from the tension of the story. And I think that's one of the reasons that, our show works is, no matter how scary it gets and, depending on the age of who's watching, sometimes they need a real break from what's going on. And so you got, old goofball here doing something to kind of, ease the tension.
You're funny. You're a pleasure to watch.
Thanks. That I appreciate. That's a real compliment coming from you.
Rich, what I love, you always have that trivia. You're like, well, here's about the movie. You always have this wonderful trivia about these movies. And I'm just like, always like this, like, oh, wow, that's fascinating, because putting a movie together is not easy. It's not an easy business. It wasn't then and it's not now. So whenever you get those facts together. And I also remember when you played all those Godzillas, like about 18.
Yes.
Like the Godzilla marathon. And I remember people that loved it. And then people were like cursing at you, like, why are you doing this? I'm so sick of this. It was hilarious. It was like this big war of like the Godzilla lovers and the people that just wanted it to stop.
Yeah, it's like that's another one of those people either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. And I started to warn my boss, Neil Saban, who's the guy who created MeTV. I said, we may not want to do, a whole month of these because there are certain people who are just going to be turned off by it. And they absolutely hate it. And, when you get to the 15th time of the dub movie, it's going, oh, look over there. There's a monster.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because like, it's so badly synced up.
Yes,
so much, that's tough. It's tough to watch stuff like that.
I always wonder, too, how different what the lines they're dubbing in English are from what the Japanese lines actually were. I'm sure there's got to be big differences in them.
Well, I actually like the Godzilla shows, but except the one where it's like you've got the baby Godzilla. I'm like, this is like a Saturday morning show. This is stupid. Remember, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, why? This is why is this on Saturday night? I mean, the other one's like when the nuclear meltdown's happening, and then you've got like, Godzilla's fighting all the enemies, but then you've got the baby Godzilla that's like a Saturday morning show. You can tell your boss that should go.
Definitely. That's the one where, it's supposed to teach you a lesson about bullies. And it's like, that's he's talking to that little kid. And the kid is like drifting off and dreaming this stuff. And oh, man.
Horrible.
And then Godzilla's teaching his son how to do the, spitting the nuclear fire. And the little kid is blowing smoke rings. And it's like, oh, brother.
It's so bad. And even while you're like announcing it, you're like,
yeah.
You're feeling your pain, but then at some point you got to turn the channel. I like all the other ones, but that one should definitely go with the little smoke rings or whatever. And then there's the werewolf. The werewolf is, those are good movies. You had Lon Chaney Jr., which seemed to have like a lot of interesting background to his life and story, and he did a ton of movies.
You must help me, my Leva.
So.
You must help me, my Leva. Your son Bela was a werewolf. The road you walk is torny, through no fault of your own. But as the rain enters the soil, and the river enters the ocean, so tears come to a predestined end.
Even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and his underwear is too tight. I always remember that.
The underwear is too tight.
Well,
is that really a line?
I might have made that up. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But there's a line with the wolfbane. What? More wolfbane? And that's from Dracula,
right? That's what now, Professor? More wolfbane?
So, Rich, I know it's hard to say, but what would be, even if you got to go top three, your favorite or top three Halloween movies, horror movies? Because you're the expert.
Well, it's funny because you were talking about the ones that people request. One of the ones people always ask for is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is a very, very popular movie. I know this year on Halloween, we're going to be running what was the first combination of monsters from Universal, which is Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. And that was an interesting one in that Bela was playing the Frankenstein monster. And in the order of movies, this was after the one where Igor's brain was put into the monster. So originally, in that movie, the monster was supposed to have lines, and he was also blind, which is, the result of the last movie. But it didn't test well, so they took out all the monster's lines, and they never referenced the fact that he was blind. And that's where the walking with the arms out type thing came from, because he was supposed to be walking, trying to feel his way. But without, that being part of the story, nobody knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's I have to do all sorts of research on these things. I'm not a born expert on it. I have to do my homework to find out all this stuff.
It's fun though, it's fascinating. I mean, and then you had the Abbott and Costello like Revolutionary War, or what was that?
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, that's
which one is
that? Time of Their Lives? What's the matter with you? Yeah, don't be foolish. What are you talking about?
Talk sense, Costello.
You
do nothing of the kind. There are times when it's like, why would you put up with having him as your friend,
Yeah, with friends like
The
that.
truth is, I believe that that Abbott was an employee of Costello.
Oh, mm-hmm.
My friend Wayne Powers, who is a real expert, told me, he said, nobody knows this, but Abbott was an employee of Costello.
Oh,
Costello had a sad life. He lost his baby in the pool.
right. Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, and you know what, Rick? That was another thing. Like some of these movies back in the day, I mean, it was controversial when the Frankenstein monster threw the little girl in the water, right? I mean, and they wanted to cut that out. But at one time, did they cut it out and they brought it back? Is that right?
Actually, they did. They cut it out of a lot of the prints. And it was only in recent years that they restored it. And in the print that we show, the footage is back in there. But
after after Costello died, right?
No,
that was in the Frankenstein
original
monster.
Frankenstein movie.
Oh, the original Frankenstein.
Now, remember when Frankenstein threw the little girl in the water and he didn't think of it? Yeah, but at the time, I mean, that would be very controversial. And
horrible.
And also back in the day, remember movies like that, like when they had the bad seed, and at the end they go, "Oh no, it's okay. It was only a movie." Like they don't know that. People don't understand that it's only a movie. So you know, it was very sensitive then. So you like the Abbott and Costello. What's another one of your favorites or audience favorites for your Svengoolie for your show?
Well, you know, any of those top 3 or 4, the originals. Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein is especially popular. And then, you know, Dracula, The First Wolfman, the Mummy. And then there's the offshoot ones like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein. And, you know, people really love those and they really respect the performances in them. They're outstanding movies to begin with, especially the early ones. My gosh. A lot of, you know, that pretty much established those characters and made them the icons that they are today. I love all those. And like I said, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the very first one. The second one and third one, it's like, well, maybe, but it's the first one that I think is most effective.
Yeah, those are all great. I mean, you know, but none of them are as bad as that Godzilla. I'm sorry. That baby. What is the name of that movie? I'm sorry, too. What is the name of that one? The one with the little baby doll Godzilla. What's the name of that one? Son of Godzilla.
It might be, yeah, because there's another one that has him in it as well, but I don't remember which is which of them. And you know, they're going to Monster Island. And, yeah, okay, there's a vacation for you.
Terrible. And did you ever show The Blob? You know, because we have
referenced that before. Yes, we showed that actually a couple months ago, I believe.
Oh, cool. Steve McQueen, right?
Yes. And the lady that plays Helen Crump on the Andy Griffith show, Anita Corso, was his girlfriend in that movie.
Andy Griffith characters are on your shows all the time.
They are, yeah.
A big contribution to Svengoolie. So, honey, do you have any more questions for Rich?
I'd have a whole night of questions, but we only have a limited amount of time.
A couple more minutes for a couple more questions for your fellow Italian.
Well,
yeah, actually, I'm going to have to jump off here because I have a production meeting coming up on Zoom. So if it's okay,
we try to do a show every week.
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. You'll sit there till I release you.
Uh-oh.
He's going to have me bumped off.
It could happen.
Careful. Let me tell you something. Now I have to turn my back on you.
Oh, no.
Understand?
Godfather, please.
Rich, you're the best. Thank you for taking so much time with us.
So much.
We know you're so busy with
so
October.
Enjoyed so much.
We love your show. We watch it every Saturday that we possibly can.
That's sweet.
Hey, when we come to Chicago, we hope we can take you out to dinner, you know, an Italian
That would be
dinner.
great. Thank you.
I've got a few good ones up there in Chicago, good Italian restaurants.
I'm so happy to talk to you guys.
I hope he makes enough money to take us to dinner.
You're kidding.
Uh-oh. You better sell some more T-shirts.
Okay.
All right. Now, we'd love to take you to dinner. Rich, thank you again. And happy Halloween, and we hope to see you soon.
Same to you. Okay, stay well.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You too.
Bye-bye.
And a toast to you and Svengoolie.
Thank you.